You're in.
This is fun beginning content for people just tuning in. But maybe I have to get closer so I can actually talk and make dumb faces for YouTube thumbnails.
Oh, sorry. Are you pointing at something? Being like,
Oh, no, I'm just pointing at the audience. Like,
oh.
yeah. Like, you should be watching this. Like,
No, what you got to do is do a sad face and be like, it's that time again. Yeah. Oh. You must have watched a movie with a woman in it doing something.
oh, no. Don't say that while I'm making that face.
That's
I don't
the
condone
thumbs
that.
down disappointed face. It's like, they put a girl in a movie and she did good things.
I don't condone that message when I'm caricaturing.
The girl protagonist is a Mary Sue. Because she did things.
See, the Mary Sue argument is valid when it's made appropriately.
Sure, but it's like...
it's just it's applied to any lady that can do things now.
Yeah.
Right, that's the problem, is the fucking incels have ruined the term
it's-
Mary Sue.
Yeah, it has become a term that's meaningless. Just like woke. It's just like,
Right.
if I don't like a thing, this is what I say it is.
Right.
Anyway.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Ugh.
YouTube's full of them.
Hello.
Including us.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you for tuning into this brand of idiot.
Did you post that on Twitter?
No.
Are you gonna?
Maybe.
Oh, I should open up the chats and stuff.
Oh, chat.
That's what I'm doing. We haven't done this in 2 weeks, and we've forgotten.
Yeah.
We've forgotten how to do literally
Probably
everything that
gonna
we normally
play
do.
the music or play ourselves over ourselves for a second. Like you do. Like you're
Really
probably
everything.
gonna.
Oh,
No, it's me saying that.
you
So
gotta
it's
talk
even
about how he
better.
enters the room.
Even better.
Oh, that's right. Subscribers only. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, now I've got live chat. I've got everything ready to go.
Chat lives.
Viva la chat.
No, all I want to do,
The
I never
shot
want your fucking...
Is on the floor.
Look, companies, whenever I share, I do not want your fucking UTM tracking codes, because they do not help anyone.
Oh, do you actually go through and customize the cookies
I
on
do-
sites?
I-
Jen does.
Really?
She's like, she does whatever the pop-up thing that actually lets you pick which ones. And I'm like, really? There are some, obviously, you have to use in order to use a site, but
Right.
she shuts all of them off. I'm just like, accept all. I don't care.
I just
don't care.
with that, I accept all, but like whenever I do a share, so I like share, copy the link or whatever, it always puts in, question mark, underscore, and tries to, like, they need to know how many people are sharing or how many people are clicking on links that other people are sharing. Fucking stop it. Here we go.
How are we going to do analytics if we don't analyze everything?
They don't need to do analytics on me posting into
Yeah.
my own fucking Discord.
Oh.
Not everyone does anal.
Right. Now it is time for TweetDeck, which is probably broken this week.
I don't think probably is the correct word.
Well, it's still broken the same way that it was broken last time, so that's fine.
I feel like I have breast blindness right now. I've seen too many.
Honestly, the nude scenes were when I checked my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was.
Save it for the
I mean,
podcast, guys.
clearly it couldn't because, it wasn't long enough. But it was really approaching showgirls territory. Both the quantity and the quantity was too much.
What about the quantity?
Mostly the quantity was the problem.
Oh, jeez.
TweetDeck is doing this thing like it's the BMFcast feed, and it's automatically refreshing like every 3 seconds. How could you ever possibly want to use Twitter in that manner? You would have to be seriously fucking addicted to Twitter to want the live feed.
Well, I mean,
as
also,
it comes.
we're following way too many fucking people for any normal person to want to do.
Sure, but how would you,
Yeah.
in any world, want to experience Twitter like that? Ugh. Ugh. Eh. If you do that, go away. We don't want you here. You're disgusting.
I say live your own life. Tweet how you want to tweet.
Well, yeah, but live it away from us with your fucking disgusting Twitter habits.
Kick and slap a friend. The Addams Family.
Do what we want to do. Say how we want to say. We want to play how we want to play dance. How we want to dance. I forget the rest.
Kick and they slap a friend. That's what they
Is
say.
it kick and they slap a friend?
Yeah, they kick and they slap a friend, yeah. I think they were just trying to find something that worked in a very short period. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And if it's not that, then I've been saying the wrong thing for many years, and that's...
All right, Addams Family rap. Let's go. Things to catch up the audience on.
That would be the most... Huh? Okay, things to what?
I was saying things to catch up the audience on. I have watched the Wednesday.
Oh.
You've watched half of the Wednesday.
Yeah. I've watched some of Wednesday. I've watched all of Last of Us.
I started it. I watched the new Evader. Jimmy C's Evader.
Oh, I have not seen that.
It's
I want-
Adam's Groove, right?
Sure. I don't know.
The Addams Family rap.
It's from Addams Family Values, I believe, because
Yes, it is.
they do like the whole like Addams Family too legit.
Mm-hmm.
They do?
I think they work that in there somehow.
Nice.
Why? Why are those the words?
What is it?
It appears you're correct, yeah. But why are those the words?
I don't know, but I mean, like I said, I was going to say if I am wrong, that is the most on brand to the lyrics wrongness I've ever had, as opposed to my Michael Jackson's "Man in the Mirror" thing, where I thought the lyrics were "No mustard's going to change Andy Griffith."
Thank you, by the way, for poisoning my brain with that,
Sure,
because
but I mean,
that's all I hear now.
So I didn't realize that the album "Bad" is actually as old as it is. I don't know why I thought it came out much closer to like 1990, but it's actually, what was it, 86?
87.
87, yeah. So I mean, yeah. To be fair, I was 10.
That's closer
And
to 1990 than we are now.
Well, sure. I'm just saying. I thought I had a couple more years on my life, but as I said last week, I grew up on Nick at Night. So Andy Griffith was in my head, and I was like, I know this isn't lyric, but it sounds like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
No mustard's gonna change Andy Griffith. Yeah.
and then I had all the rest of it. If you want to make the world a better place, I got all the rest of it. It's just, what is that line there? There's a bathroom on the right.
I don't like that album at all.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy that Quincy Jones produced it because it sounds like shit. Like it's all treble and there's like basically no bass in it whatsoever. And
That's just the late 80s, man.
I know, I just can't stand it.
Like I said, for years,
Though-
I thought it was some fake instruments on Graceland, but it's just how it's recorded. It's
Yeah.
all live instruments.
Yeah.
It just sounds like synthesizers because it's so trebly.
Yeah. I think The Way You Make Me Feel is the only good song on that
That is
album.
a great song.
Still not a lot of. I never thought about that.
What, that the instruments don't sound real?
No, just the lack of bass.
Yeah. Bad's really bad about that. And then
I
Dangerous is just like, hey, every song should be 8 minutes. It's like, nah, let's not.
Come on, Michael, remember the time.
Yeah.
Make them shorter. That was a joke.
Yeah, we know. We just didn't fucking laugh
Fine.
Got it.
because
But-
we're dead inside, not
and
because
then-
you're not funny.
And then whatever that final one they put out, I think it was Escape, the one that they like finished after he died, and they had like Justin Timberlake on it and other people.
Okay.
Production on that one is shit too. It's really like I don't get it. Like if his recordings were garbage or what, but that one sounds like shit too. It's really a shame.
You know
There's
what
a couple
else is-
songs.
You know what
on
else is
that
a shame when it comes to Michael Jackson?
one. We don't talk about that.
Sorry.
We're separating one art from the artist. We're one artist from the art.
We don't talk about that.
It's the only one.
No, I mean, I still watch Baby Driver, so and that has two predators in it. So,
oh, that's right. The kid is a predator. Is that
apparently,
Ansel Elgort?
that one kind of went away, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where that resolved, but
Most of the genius in that movie is not from either of them.
correct. He is just a cipher, and Kevin Spacey is just being Kevin Spacey, the asshole. So.
Not Kevin Spacey touching the asshole.
So I got an announcement. I have scratched something off of my list of shame that I think most people didn't know was on my list of shame.
What is it?
Galaxy Quest.
Oh, you'd never seen it?
Never seen all of Galaxy Quest. I had seen most of it through GIFs and, clips and stuff here and there.
I don't give a shit about Star Trek, and I like that movie.
Correct. That's the correct take, because it is also my take.
Yeah.
I quite like it.
It
Speaking of assholes,
yeah, but
Tim Allen.
It knows how to sell its the fiction around all of Star Trek without being Star Trek.
yes. I feel like, I don't know, I didn't read anything about the movie, which is contrary to what I usually do. But I assume that the people who made that movie know and love Star Trek. Or wrote that movie.
You have to have.
Right?
They have to have.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I don't think you could write those fan convention things without actually having attended them, and not just for research, but standing in line and observing people and stuff. I mean, because it's all way too accurate.
Right.
From the way Justin Long asks his, but the kind of question to the fangirls and everything. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, the only trivia I know about is that it was going to be rated R originally, and then because there's the one clear line that Sigourney Weaver says at the end where they just.
Oh yeah, where they just
she's
ADR
like,
right
no
over it.
fucking way. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's like they just
See
very
that
clearly she says that
to me, I thought that was an
they were going to get away with the one. Yeah.
No, I thought that was because I didn't have time to process it that quickly. I thought, oh well, they just intentionally dubbed that over because you would never allow somebody to say that on a Star Trek show.
Sure. I don't know. Yeah, but no, I think they were going for more like The Office, I don't know, more gritty and
Yeah.
people flipping out and stuff. Kind of take on it.
God, what a weird career for that director, Dean Pariseau. He did a bunch of TV stuff. He did that the Patrick Warburton, The Tick. Yeah.
All right.
But then it's he
Good
makes
stuff.
a movie every 8 years and then just goes away. Because he made Fun with Dick and Jane, the remake one, which is not good. And then he made Red 2. And then he made Bill and Ted Face the Music. It's just very strange. I'm always fascinated with guys like that are just
Face the Music was the one I was like, I know he did something kind of a note recently.
yeah.
They're Alan Rickman is the best, greatest of all time. He is everything in that movie to me. Tim Allen, I don't care about.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver, I obviously love, but Alan Rickman is just.
So I actually think Tim Allen is really good in that movie too. For what he needs to do in that movie.
Yeah, he does a good job.
Yeah.
But compared to Alan Rickman, he's
Sure.
just
Yeah.
man.
I just think
so
everyone's
fucking good.
nailing it in that movie. I mean,
Yeah.
just literally everyone is bringing.
That's one of those where it just everything worked out.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
God,
mean,
those guys didn't
yeah.
write shit otherwise. That's
Because
really weird.
They got Tony Shalhoub at the right time when he
Yep.
wasn't doing Monk. I mean, it was they
Yeah.
got Sam Rockwell early on. It was they got everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Missy Pyle.
Ennio Castiglione or whatever his name is, Enrico Castiglione.
Enrico Colantoni.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Mathazar.
I'm probably trying to make it.
You're trying.
I'm trying
You're
to
making it too
more
Italian.
Italian. Yeah,
Enrico Colantoni.
Castiglione, I realized the other day is
Enrico Colantoni.
that's the made-up name that Frank Castle uses in The Punisher. So, Pete Castiglione.
So should we do a podcast?
Oh right,
No,
podcast.
hell
Shit.
no.
I just want to talk
You
about.
just don't want me to
Galaxy
get
Quest.
home before midnight.
I just want to talk about Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, but Galaxy Quest is quite good.
The Never Surrender documentary is actually pretty good. I mean, for what it is, there's a Galaxy Quest documentary thing.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that was back in the days when like every DVD had a whole the making of the movie.
Well, this
thing.
was like some years later. The fans were like,
Oh, really?
We'd like to know more." And I mean, it was made like 20 years after the movie, but they got most of the cast to talk about it and stuff. Sadly, it was after Alan Rickman had passed. I grabbed Thaw's hammer.
Grab Thaw's hammer.
What a savings!
What a saving.
That's almost too much inflection. Because he says it's so flat.
Yeah.
That's the best part of it.
I was trying to get low and get his accent, and I ended up inflecting instead.
Yeah, he's just like, by Grabthaw's hammer. What a savings.
Unfortunately, the Big Bang guy is one of the aliens too.
I know.
Which Big Bang guy?
The main Sheldon guy is one of those aliens, I believe.
Really?
Pretty sure.
I don't see him in the credits.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just a guy that looks remarkably like him.
Yeah, I think so.
Is
I mean, I guess he would be super young.
Is
I don't
Rainn
know.
Wilson in this? Is he uncredited?
Yeah, he is. He's one
Okay.
of the aliens too.
Oh, top cast. I'm not getting all cast. God damn it, IMDb, you piece of shit. Yeah, because I was like, I know that's got to be him, but I didn't watch the credits because Netflix hates me.
Netflix, you have to it's difficult to get to the
Yeah.
credits.
What was I also watched Enola Holmes, just because Netflix keeps putting it in front of my face, and I was like, fine, all right, I like both the actors in this, so I'm gonna watch it. And then, even though I've tried to turn off everything autoplay in my whole life that isn't like Spotify, it's still autoplayed Enola Holmes 2. And I was like, it's 12:45. I am not watching Enola Holmes at 12:45.
Yeah, you can try to play 2 episodes in a row of a TV show. And it'll come up. Are you still watching? But we'll
Exactly.
play back-to-back movies.
Right. Fucking asshole.
What an asshole. Yeah, I mean, I caught up on all of Flora's Lava, my stupid guilty pleasure stupidity show, and
I'm glad.
Was that back again?
oh yeah, they made 2 more seasons that I didn't realize. Yeah.
Jesus.
Someone finally did the Terminator film though too, so finally that's all I was fucking waiting for. I was like,
Nice.
if I get through 3 series of this and someone hasn't fallen in and given it a thumbs up as they're going down, I'm throwing my remote against the wall. That'd be
No.
stupid.
I'm glad you didn't have to throw your remote against the wall.
I didn't do that at all.
Well, those remotes are garbage anyway.
Fuck. What episode are we on? We've been fucking around so long.
572, I believe.
I cannot wait to clip out clap fuck.
Clap fuck? Yeah, well, sometimes you do get the clap when you fuck.
And sometimes you make it clap when you're fucking.
Oh. Fuck. Where is my other window? Jesus. Please. Give me
It's 572.
572. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. My bad.
Glad I could help.
All right. Welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
Woo, episode 572.
Nice.
Goodness
The
gracious.
train keeps on
It's a
rolling.
lot of episodes.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go to watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot Jocks.
However, there are bad movies and stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags and giant bags of trash.
Boo.
Junk.
Boo
Get him out of
indeed.
here.
So, today marks several things.
Yeah.
It's a continuation. It's an end. It's a middle. It's everything. We were recording on the Ides of March. I know this won't actually come out until St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So
Maybe. We'll
Yeah.
see.
may the luck of the Irish be with you, and the force too. But yes, we are also celebrating our 14th anniversary of the BMFcast, sort of ish.
14 years.
As close as we can be.
It would have been March 11th.
Yeah, it would have been last week if we hadn't taken it off. But yeah,
And
14 years.
more to the point of tonight's episode, we mark the end of the Andy Sedaris catalog with Return to Savage Beach.
Yep. Yeah, the final movie he directed.
Mm-hmm.
Final of the series. Thankfully, his son, who kind of sucked at it, did not try to continue.
Yeah. But yeah, here we are. It's Return to Savage Beach, 1998.
Yeah, really the end of an era in so many ways. Because like this is the point also where it's like DVDs were out. It's like people don't need Cinemax anymore, which is kind of like he was making Skinemax movies basically, except way more fun.
With
Right.
explosions.
Yeah, it's like the world of filmmaking had already changed around him by the time that this came out.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like back in the day when there was just HBO, Cinemax, and Showtime vying for your movie paying dollar, I feel like they at one point in time sort of tried to brand themselves. Like HBO's like, we've got the funny stuff, and Cinemax was like, we've got the sexy stuff, and Showtime's like, we've got the action movies.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong about that? Like
I
feel
don't
like
think you're entirely wrong.
I feel like they all just kind of like sort of like went in their little corners, and they of course dabbled around other things. But
Mhm.
I felt like for a brief time they were like trying to like, oh, we can corner this market, But I don't know. I'm just saying like maybe he was like making things for Showtime for like action based titty movies. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but man, pretty much everyone that was in the last movie comes back. I still trying to even keep track of who was good or bad or whatever in all of these movies. It doesn't work anymore.
No, too many people have returned and been different characters. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Julie Strange started out as a bad guy. Not anymore.
now she's the head of the lethal force. I
Yeah,
guess.
which they actually name what the acronym means, and
Did they actually say it in this movie?
they do.
Okay, I fucking missed it.
Oh.
It's
it
right
was
in the
probably
beginning.
one of the points where someone appears on screen immediately naked.
I think it's law enforcement through hot ass ladies. I think is what it is.
Like, really?
No, I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I had written it down, but I didn't, and now I don't care anymore because the series is over. So, but yeah, they tried to use that whole lethal branding, and it just no. These are Sedaris movies through and through. But yeah, you got Julie Strain, Julie Smith, Shay Marks, Rodrigo Obregon, who's been in like 6 of these things.
Yep, you're welcome.
Yeah, Marcus Bagwell, the Warrior, returns.
Hell yeah.
Getting
Bagwell.
a huge retcon on his part in this one.
Yeah.
Because, jumping ahead to it, they bring him back and they're just like, hey, man, we threw you in jail. And he's like, yes, but not for what you think.
Right. I was in jail for stealing, not
Yeah.
murder, and
yeah,
I got
not
out.
murdering that guy because they're like, well, you murdered a guy. Like he
He's
was,
like,
and he was like, well,
turns out he was actually a serial killer that was wanted in the state of Texas. He murdered like 14 people, and so I got a commendation when I murdered him.
so the dude he murdered was actually a serial killer.
Right.
Just
I guess a serial killer had gotten a job at the lethal agency, posed as one of their agents, but was also being a serial killer on the side.
yes.
Okay.
I wonder if the actor who played that dude who got his neck broke in the ring is just like, hey, what the shit? I was a good guy who got killed in the line of duty. Now I'm a serial killer?
I doubt they were probably watching. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what those people's lives are. I don't know.
Let's get to this too. BJ and I have already discussed this, but it had to be awesome knowing Andy Sedaris in the late 80s and 90s.
Absolutely.
Because it would basically be like, hey man, we're making another one of those movies with all these Playboy models. You want to like do something with it? You want to be on set, hang out? It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do literally anything.
Yeah. We'll have this wrestler break your neck or something. It'll be cool.
And okay, so the thing that spurred me to make this comment was not the gratuitous amounts of breasts, which is nice.
It helps.
It'd be a bonus, right?
It helps.
I wouldn't mind it. It was like, it was the boats and the water and all of the like fun toys they were getting to play with. Like, I don't know whose house it was that was the main house, but we assume it was Andy Sedaris's. But all of the locales and all of the equipment and like you know Andy Sedaris is probably paying okay, right? He's not paying you a lot of money, but he's paying okay. You'll get paid. You'll probably
you'll
get
have
fed
fun.
pretty well, and you'll have fun. You'll be
Yeah.
in Hawaii, or I mean, the worst place you can be is Dallas or Shreveport. Yeah,
You may have to go to Shreveport.
you might have to go to Shreveport, but you're gonna have fun if you get to go to Shreveport for Andy Sedaris.
Yeah.
You're blowing up a Mercedes.
Yeah, you're right.
Like that's gonna be your day. Is you're gonna do dirt bikes and blowing up a Mercedes. So that's not bad.
Maybe airboats.
Maybe even an airboat. Yeah, and that's all you spend a week in Shreveport blowing some shit up. Just
Yeah,
bring
when
some mosquito repellent.
I think I'd rather
when you
hang
put
out
it
in
that
Shreveport
way-
with Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise, though. I'm just saying.
Fair point, but you're not going to get that option if you're on Andy Sedaris's radar.
Well, no, I'm just saying, in like a mythical, like if I could go to some place at a
Sure.
time and hang out on a movie set.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Burt Reynolds, we'll get back to that
Okay.
a little later. But yeah, this one, what are they doing? I don't think they even know for like the first 20 minutes of this movie.
No, they are walking on. They are appearing on screen with their tops off. That's what they're doing
Yeah,
for
this
20 minutes.
This
Sometimes
is
the
like a-
breasts enter the frame before the rest of the person does.
This is a late Sedaris thing that I am not on board with in any way, and it makes me angry because it's bad filmmaking. Because okay, nudity.
Love it.
It's great. Everyone should do it. But the thing about these is, all right, these are all Playboy models. Yes, we know. Like they've basically gotten famous for taking their clothes off. Fine. That's why you're in the movie. That's like when you sign up for a Sedaris movie, you're not like, oh, you mean I have to take my clothes off? It's
Except
like, no,
for if
like,
you're that one girl that never speaks.
yeah.
I think you don't get a speaking part if you don't take your top off.
I don't know. It's a different world. Let's keep that in mind. But
Fair enough.
everyone in these movies knows why they're in these movies. And the thing about the nudity in them is it's like there's no patience whatsoever. There's no buildup. It's like literally scenes start with the chick walking into the room naked and then getting dressed, which makes no sense whatsoever. Like, I'm sorry, but the sexy part is watching a woman take her clothes off. Like it's a primal basic thing that
I mean, I don't know, primal, but yeah, primal would
I
be no
mean-
clothes at all. But
yes, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
like it's
I
a
get you.
deeply
It
ingrained thing
activates
where
the
it's
lizard
like
brain.
sure.
yeah, like the end of a date, that is going to be like, oh, okay, this is the best thing that's ever happened to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Whenever it happens, it's always the best thing that's ever happened to you. But
Trust us on that, lady.
yeah, but that's like this movie's just like, nah, here they are. All right, now she's going to put on some weird outfit and then go check her email. And it's like, this is so weird. Like, what are you doing? Like, is it just? And it doesn't even feel like it's like, oh, we're contractually obligated to show boobs in this, because like there are sex scenes later which are taken from a different movie, but I don't know. It's
yeah,
because it happens to, I believe, every woman in this movie
Correct.
is
Just about,
introduced being nude and then putting clothes on.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, of the ones that get nude at all, yes.
It's weird, and it's just like I don't even understand like why even handle it that way.
Actually, Julie Strain might be the one exception, only, but we don't feel that way because we watched the intro video where she walks on screen and is immediately just like,
yeah,
here
the
are my
intro
breasts.
on the DVD is Julie Strain being Julie, like at maximum Julie Strain. Really, is all of those intros for all of those movies that
Maximum
she
Strain.
shows
That's
up is yeah,
It's my Julie Strain documentary.
maximum strainage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if we're talking objectively, or I don't know if that's the right word, of the people. The other thing that should be said. I mean, not that Sedaris movies have ever had a history with factory parts, but this take. I mean, at this stage, we're in like levels of like, oh come on, like
We are in. All right. There are two things. We are in miracles of modern silicone, like the height of 90s silicone possibility. And also incredible plastic surgeons. Like,
And this is the result.
Well, like, the thing is, you can't, like, you can tell, but you can't tell from any scarring or anything.
Early large breast. I mean,
There's not CG covering up the.
Well, I
It's
mean,
not like Henry Cavill's mustache in that
even
movie.
in early Sedaris movies, you can watch the people who got digitally altered early on, and
Yeah.
and I mean there were like unnatural stretch marks and things like that would happen because it wasn't done correctly.
Mhm.
Just
Right.
because like the skin was trying to be like, oh, what have you just put in me?
Yeah.
But like
Those surgeons are fucking wizards.
There
This
is
was
for
when
them.
we had perfected the
there,
technology.
there was one lady in this
just before we all turned on it.
Forgive me that I don't know who anyone's name is. I'm not a Playboy fan of any time, but I mean, like, there's one lady, the one lady who would probably be extremely attractive if she
The
wasn't
Liv
so-
Tyler one?
Yeah, the one who was like,
Shay Marks.
okay, I'm just saying, like,
Tiger.
She would probably be like very, very, very attractive lady. I don't know what other work she's
She is
had. And,
attractive.
I mean, besides obviously modifications, but I mean, like, she was to the point that I was like, did they even make silicone bags that large, or did they just have to cram several of them in there? Because I mean, you've seen these like, what fake breasts look like outside the breasts, and I was like, I have never this was just insane. I mean, this was like someone put Anna Nicole Smith's breasts on like a Kathy Ireland's body. I mean, it basically is what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, Anna Nicole Smith was a large-breasted woman, but she was also a generally overall thicker person too to support them.
Yeah.
She had a robust frame.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, they look painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like it would actually hurt
And-
to have them.
Everyone except for unnamed Asian woman with no speaking part is just overflowing.
Mm-hmm.
Overflowing.
Even Ava, the sexologist, who has returned
Right.
to run the KSXY
But
network.
also,
K
the
sexy.
dudes be overflowing. Because
Yeah, those
every
dudes
dude
are
in
buff.
this movie is buffed the fuck out except for Rodrigo Obregon.
Yeah. And Kevin Eastman, who is also the
Kevin
engineer,
Eastman, yeah. He
Julie
almost-
Strain's husband.
He almost doesn't count because he's in 2 scenes and also he's, I don't know, he's got one line and he's kind of just a funny looking guy to be there to be a funny looking guy.
Yeah. There's always the sidekick guy who just like,
Yeah.
I guess he's the one who has to clean the hot tub. I mean,
Oh god.
I guess that's his job there.
It's like the Forrest Gump sequel.
But yeah, all the dudes are super fucking jacked. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not new, but they are all shirtless in almost every scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think has that happened? Have they
Yeah.
ever been that shirtless?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
Usually they're wearing like vests that aren't buttoned and that sort of
They
shit.
are very well toned and tanned dudes, and they're pretty much oiled up in every scene, but not
Yeah.
like in like the glistening wrestler way, just in that like look pretty for the camera way. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
to say
in
wrestler,
that way that they're probably always flexing whenever the camera is rolling.
the one dude does look like John Cena's little brother, kind of.
Yeah.
The one guy with the kind of ponytail that's always tucked
Mhm.
back.
Yeah. And then you have actual wrestler Marcus Buff Bagwell. And that dude is, well, he's been jacked for a long time. But,
You don't get a nickname like Buff if you're not jacked,
right.
unless it's ironic.
Yes. Which is why they call me Old Big Dick. But Buff is,
That's just because you're the nicest guy I've ever met.
thanks.
Sure.
He is so fucking, like, roid huge.
Mhm.
He looks like he's about to come out of his skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, except for all the damage it did to his body and brain, I'm sure.
Yeah, aside from that.
Other than that,
It's
Yeah.
great because he's a cartoon character. And
all the
Sure.
roids and the CTEs. Other than that, it's great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. So, the plot.
there is one, theoretically.
At some point.
So
yeah.
I didn't remember that Savage Beach was the one where they end up on the island where there's gold that was stolen during World War II, and there is the World War II Japanese soldier who's been marooned there with
That
man
old
makeup.
chestnut.
Yeah. So as soon as like that plot point came up, I went, oh, okay, it's a sequel to that one. Okay. But
This
yeah,
is the only one that really feels like a direct sequel of any kind.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the other ones are like, oh yeah, they were in part of our thing, but they, it's almost like Bond films where it's just kind of like, yeah. But this one, they like specifically tell the story of that one midway through the movie,
Right. Well,
and show footage from it using the, the actresses and everything else.
Yeah, they dropped the Abilene thing. That was a running. There was the
Yeah.
Abilene family. They always had large guns and couldn't shoot for the
Right.
first several movies. But
Mhm.
I mean, the one guy does. I think it's the John Cena brother pulls out a fairly large gun. I was like, oh, is he in Abilene? But I think he actually hit somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah. He also gets his gun knocked out of his
He
hand
does a lot.
Yeah.
almost every time.
Yeah, for the world's best secret agents, they're pretty terrible at their
But
jobs.
The basic plot is Rodrigo Obregon did not die at the end of the movie. He got blown up, but only he got a Phantom of the Opera mask on one half of his face because he kind of got two-faced a little. And now it would seem that he's trying to go back and get the gold. But he doesn't know the exact location of Savage Beach because it was a lost island, and there's only 2 discs that have it, so they have to steal it from the lethal people. So I guess they set up supposed terrorists who are buying guns from a tiny little plane in Texas, and they send some agents out, which diverts everybody away from lethal headquarters enough for a lady to break in, pretending to be Roller Girl Pizza.
Yeah, since it's 1998, you
Yeah.
know that he watched Boogie Nights and was like, we got to do that.
Yeah.
This has to happen.
Yeah, so it's a blonde lady, a statuesque Playboy blonde lady in rollerblades and in a weird pizza outfit.
Yeah.
I mean, like an all leather.
Carrie Westcott. This is the first time we've seen her in any of these movies.
Yeah.
This is not a pizza outfit in any
I still don't.
any fashion.
Apparently, this is one of Julie Strain's outfits.
It's got to be. Yeah.
I don't really
Red,
understand her
shiny-
character because, like, sometimes in the movie she speaks with I speak with a Russian accent now, kind of, and
She
this.
I think it's supposed to be Swedish, actually.
But this
Yeah.
costume is like it's all red and like her not. I mean, she's wearing cufflinks for a thing that doesn't even have sleeves.
She's wearing cuffs.
yeah.
She has French cuffs, but with no
right.
sleeve.
But they have like the red star on them and stuff, and this is like all red leather. I mean, it could just be.
That's
red,
just part of the
Red Star pizza.
lightning hot
Sure.
pizza outfit.
But
Yeah.
anyway, skipping way ahead, it turns out she works for Interpol. And then she says that she's tasked from M1, which is all I know is a road in England, a motorway. I don't know anybody's secret police that are called M1, but yeah. Then she just has accents from all over the place from Europe for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So it's all about getting these discs, trying to beat people to the island, and then it turns into one big crazy Scooby-Doo ending at the end. Because that's really the only way to describe this movie.
Yeah, I mean, to get into they all end up together because of this heist, which has one disc has the location of part of the island, and I guess they have to triangulate it with
I think they
the
just
information on the other
I
disc.
think they just had 2 copies of the discs. I don't know what that meant. Like, I really
they
don't.
had to get them later.
Because he said something like, I'm going to go get the other one, and I think it was more just like, oh, well, then if we have both discs, they won't know where it is. Haha, surprise.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to get the other one so that they wouldn't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
There's a lot of
the thing is,
mumbo-jumbo
she is
computer talk.
presented as the bad guy throughout the movie because she keeps reporting back to Rodrigo Obregon and going, "Okay, I've got this, and now we can find the location of the island." And,
Yeah, we can tango fuck now.
yeah.
Because they do. They start with a tango, and it turns into fucking sort of, I don't know.
I mean, that's how it usually goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard it takes 2 to tango, so. And to make everything go right. So,
It's an overestimation.
yeah.
It does take 2 to make it out of sight.
That's true. That's 100% true.
Oh.
I can confirm.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just did the same thing you did. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
both of you guys do that a lot.
I know. They eventually there's a lot of shootouts. There's a lot of like, okay, the Cobra and Doc, which is Julie Smith and the other John Cena's younger brother guy, fly out to Dallas to meet up with them and deliver whatever is in a package that they have. And immediately guys in dirt bikes just ride up to where they've landed their plane and just swipe the bag from her. And she's just like, oh, huh. And so they have to do a whole chase with dirt bikes and ATVs, which is pretty silly until they
it's
have
very
to ditch
pointless.
the bikes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very pointless that it even starts on bikes because I mean they really could have just like come running by and saved the vehicle costs because they really don't do anything on the bikes. They just ride for a little while and then ditch them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, well, the guy actually drops the bag while he's trying to ride the bike.
Sure.
It's stupid, but
Yeah.
he gets shot and then blown up while on the bike, and it's a good dummy explosion
It's very good. Yeah.
as the bike gets blown up. And Cobra does a callback to a lot of our previous Sedaris movies because she's got a little RC car that she. Not only is she going to drive it over to blow it up, as we all know is going to happen, but she ramps it off of the.
There's a trailer.
Yeah, there's a trailer behind this old Mercedes that they have filled with gas for whatever reason. They were
Yeah.
going to blow it up at some point.
well, they had refilled their bikes and then put the leftover gas in the trunk, along with whatever gas was in the car to power the car.
right.
And so
Really?
yeah, if
That
you're
was
watching
what they were doing?
if you're watching the live stream, that's what I chose as the aftermath of this is the picture on the corner.
But she just ramps this little RV car into the trunk with the gas tanks and blows it up as the guy goes, "Oh!"
Could have easily just driven it underneath. It would have had the same effect.
But
It would have been a sweet jump.
same effect, yes. However,
Yeah, you don't get any style points. That's
Right.
true.
And I mean, what is a Sedaris movie if not all style points, right?
Mm-hmm. But there's also they blow up a boat. That's the original terrorist plot that they thwart. That is the distraction.
Yeah, they actually stole the lethal team's boat, which was the Vindicator. It's just a little speedboat, basically. But yeah, they had stolen that, and yeah, they one guy gets back to the boat, and she launches a missile into it, and
Yeah, uses her little crossbow, her explosive crossbow. Because as she says, everything she touches explodes.
Ha ha.
Huh. That's what we call an innuendo.
oh, jizz!
Yeah.
I didn't get it before just
Yeah,
now.
for
Okay, all right.
Yeah, she's
orgasm.
talking about ejaculate.
All right, yeah.
I wonder.
Whew,
I'm
it
thinking,
went right on my head.
honestly, like the
If you know what I mean.
the Vindicator was in pretty good shape.
I know. The
I
Vindicator
wonder if
looked
he
really
got
nice.
like insurance money for blowing that up or something, and that's why he had to stop making movies.
Well, it actually said it was borrowed. So, I mean, it was
So
in
they
the
borrowed
credits.
it and then blew it
yeah,
up?
it said it was like a Vindicator boat provided by somebody. So
Yeah,
Man.
it must have been like a fucked up chassis or something, or like they
I don't
knew
know because I mean it was in good shape.
it did look like
I was
it
a
was.
little angry that they blew up the Vindicator.
Maybe they had like a fiberglass shell that was bad, and that's what they blew up. You know,
Yeah.
maybe it's like the boat company that makes the bodies. They're like, hey, we gotta.
Yeah.
I think it
One
was-
didn't come out of the
they
mold
just
right.
May have found an old wreck that was the same shape and just painted Vindicator on
Yeah.
the side.
Maybe.
Man,
But the
here-
Vindicator
here-
was a nice boat.
I know.
I was
behind
ready. I
these
was ready
movie
with
scenes, yeah.
hashtag justice for Vindicator. I was like,
I
no,
mean-
that Vindicator we need to clear this up.
I think there's a better one there, but we'll workshop it.
Okay.
So they have at least returned to all right, drive a thing around and then blow it up. There's also a lot of ninjas.
There are 8, 9 ninjas.
I thought they only had
several
3. I
ninjas.
thought they had the purple, the yellow, and the red belted ones.
Well, they had like the Kabuki ninjas
oh, that's
in
true.
the
I forgot
beginning,
about them. Yeah,
which is where when
that
Yeah.
actually might have been the same 3 ninjas though. They might have
probably
Mountain,
were.
some Murder Mountain or Knuckled Up or whatever else
Yeah.
the 3 ninjas do. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's how Buff is introduced to Fu, which gets us our intro line for the episode.
Yes.
Yes, Gerald Akamura's back.
That's not him. No, that's a different guy.
Huh?
Isn't it Gerald?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Jack. Okay, sorry.
I forgot his last name.
Gerald
Gerald
Akamura.
Akamura. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Cut that.
Okay.
But yeah, they, what's her face? The Interpol lady comes in at the end, and she's basically like watching the Kabuki ninjas fight everybody, and then just blow darts the last of them.
Mm-hmm.
They kidnap.
Yeah, that's when they're ninjas later on because they've figured
Oh,
out
is it?
where the
Okay.
island is, and the 2 girls have gone to the island to, I guess, look for the gold.
Mhm.
And then that's when she goes, and they know that one of not Abilene guy has the discs, so they take the discs and they kidnap him, and they fight ninjas for a little bit until she blow darts him, and then the other ninjas just knock the dude out. But
I'm just realizing there's a lot of plot in this that just sort of shows up, and I don't remember it being introduced until like the time of it being needed. Because I don't remember any backstory about the medallion and the book. I mean, I remember them saying we need some sort of journal.
There was plenty of.
Was there?
There was quote unquote plenty of There was quote unquote plenty of backstory for the book and the medallion. There's a whole scene where he's talking about it, and he pulls it out of his shirt, and he's like, "My father gave this to me, and I never take it off."
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
This medallion, he kept it in his ass.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess I just don't remember that. I just feel at the end they were like,
You
"The
were
medallion."
blinded by breasts.
Maybe yes.
Yeah, it's easy to gloss over a lot of these
It's
things.
one of those scenes that's early on in between the onslaught of bosoms.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but either way, they've gone to the island. What happens? He gets kidnapped. So then Julie Strain and the other John Cena's younger brother decide, all right, we're just going to take a catamaran to the island. And keep in mind, this island took 12 hours by small plane.
She does say we'll meet up with you in a few days.
Yeah.
So she's at least expecting that it'll take a while.
Yeah.
I don't know how they kind of skip that and it takes 49
I feel like there was
seconds,
another
but-
team of people that just get explained away by they got caught by a storm, and I don't even remember who that was.
Oh, that was the flashback to Donna and them from the previous
No,
movie.
no. Like, because like I thought they were like, we're both gonna go by plane or something like that, and then we're gonna go take a boat, and like they just explained the second team away like off screen. I don't remember.
The third team is staying at home in Hawaii, and it's Buff Bagwell,
Foo.
KSXY,
Yeah.
Foo, and Harry the Cat.
Yeah.
They all stay behind to keep tabs with the satellite. Oh, by the way, they launched a satellite on the fucking space shuttle
Oh, that's right.
in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
They're watching this scene, and I fully expect that the gimmick of this movie, because they're watching the television while this thing is launching, and I'm like, oh my god, are they going to do this? I fully expected them to go full tacky and show footage of the Challenger exploding,
No.
and that was going to be the
Nope.
kickoff to the movie. Thank God they didn't. But
No.
anyway, they're watching the satellite and communicating with everybody so that they can kind of keep track.
Mm-hmm.
Ava is the woman that's
The K sexy one.
the KSXY lady.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so they go to the island. The ladies find the treasure. They find it. And
They
they
do.
dig for about 3 seconds ago. Digging's hard. Let's go swim topless instead. So they go swim topless for like
Well, no,
10
they go swim
minutes.
with their tops on, and then they take their tops off once they get in the water.
Yeah.
These are important details that
And
the
then-
fans demand, Mackie.
Sure. And then the one girl with size G breasts and a chiropractor on speed dial has to carry her top around in her hand as she's swimming around.
Of course, you don't
because
want
she
to lose
didn't
it.
take it off it. Oh yes,
I
but
think they're actually size Q breasts because she's going to be like Quasimodo when she gets
yeah,
older.
that girl's gonna have problems.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her. Well, she does. It's 25 years later.
Hmm.
Like, yeah. But anyway, yeah. And then, oh look, everyone has shown up on the island because our good guys have gotten there, but also the bad guys with the other blonde chick, roller girl, who has also kidnapped the guy who is not in Abilene.
Right.
They have gone there on a sub because their sub can't be tracked by the satellite.
Is that why, or was that just
That
a
is
convenience?
why.
I know they mentioned it, but
That is why.
I
Because they had a
don't-
man on the inside who was informing them of
that's
things.
right. They did have a man on the inside.
Yes. So, so everyone gets there at once, but they get back. They get to the island and they're like, "Hey, we found the treasure. Your job to dig it up." John Cena's younger brother, and he's like, "All right." And they go back there, and that fucker's buried an inch underground, an inch, like it. They barely even brushed dirt on top of it.
I
And
mean,
it's
you're already on a
and it's like
secret
you-
island.
You gave up digging, like it was too hard to dig this thing up, and it was literally an inch underground. No. Of all the least realistic things in this movie, including the breasts, that is the most unrealistic thing to me.
Fair enough.
And it angers me.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
But yes, as they dig up the treasure, that's when they are accosted by ninjas and Roller Girl. But the not an Abilene brother snaps a twig so that it will alert everyone that they're there. This starts a shootout in which he gets shot in the chest.
No, not him. Or no, it is him. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he gets shot in the chest.
Well, because the ninjas start ninjaing, and then they're like, this isn't working out too well for us. Let's use our guns.
Yes. So we have ninjas with handguns.
I mean, more ninjas.
That should be the deadliest force on Earth. Ninjas with handguns.
It depends. There were probably, I think there may have been slightly too many ninjas.
Yes. And these are also white ninjas, so.
Ninjas.
Bad ninjas. But yes, they starts a shootout, and he gets shot in the chest. Like, oh, shit. However, Roller Girl starts helping him. We're like, oh, what's happening here? This is a twist. Not really. But
it is. It is a twist. For a Sedaris movie, this is a twist.
Okay. But we do get two ninjas get blown the fuck up, and we get some ninja dummies flopping around in the flames.
Yeah, one of them finally takes one of the explosive crossbow bolts directly to the chest instead of like hitting something that they were on or near.
Yeah. And you get the beep beep as like that's one thing about movies that I will never ever get sick of is somebody shooting at a dude and you get the thunk sound cut to the guy holding the arrow in his chest going, oh no.
Yeah.
Always great. Always satisfying when the guy looks down and has it is gripping the arrow in his chest.
This one was even better because it was a spear gun.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was a spear gun. Yeah. So she harpooned that fucker.
She did.
And then blew him up.
Yes. I
approve.
On a similar vein or a similar topic, one thing that I will never get tired of in movies is the beeping explosive.
Yes.
You know, when it's just going beep, 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 and they have to look at it and go, oh, fuck.
When the guy has to react to his imminent death.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, no.
Yeah. How long should I set the timer? Long enough for them to go, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
2.7 seconds. Got it.
Yeah. He doesn't even get last words. He gets last word.
Right.
Which is inevitably, fuck.
Yeah, even better, it would be get the, oh. I don't even want the shit. Or fuck. I just want...
Yep.
Oh.
Always a classic. Also a classic, RC tanks that blow up underneath. And the ninja just looking at it going, what is that? Kaboom.
I will admit, I was mildly sad that they used an RC tank and it didn't actually shoot. It just exploded like the RC car. I just mean, when you switch from a standard car that's just an RCXD from Call of Duty, then...
If it was us, it would have shot a pellet at his dick. Mm-hmm. He would have hunched over, and then it would have blown him up.
Yeah, and then catapulted him.
Fucking bank that one. We're doing that.
That's the way you do that.
BMF the movie will have that.
We'll have RC pellet tank to the nuts, followed by explosive ticket to Burning Man. Mm-hmm. I'm all about it. But yeah, so she's blown up all over her RC stuff. And that's when they're like, hey, why are you helping that guy who's not in Abilene, who is not dead because the bullet hit his little medallion?
Yes.
And that's when she's like, oh, I am the Interpol agent. I will help you.
Yeah, her ninth accent of the movie.
Yeah. And they're like, all right, cool. You're a good person now. Let's go check out the treasure. And so they open the lid, and immediately it's like, this is a bomb. You are about to die. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds to put not an Abilene's medallion on here to deactivate it. And then it just starts nagging them for 90 seconds.
Yes. Oh, yeah. This is probably the best non-cancer snake gag in a Sedaris movie, because this thing does not stop talking. And it keeps, it updates you at how many seconds there are left in the middle of the nagging.
And it's also like, you have not put the medallion on the sensor. What are you doing? You are going to die if you don't.
Yeah, and this begins our climax of the movie, is basically them trying to pry the bullet and file down the bullet hole or indentation out of the medallion so it will fit in this with
so
the
it'll
Swiss Army
sit
knife.
flat, basically.
So then she's just sitting there with a little Swiss Army knife going, does it work now? No, file it some more. And then the funny thing is, like, none of them are really acting like they're about to be blown up. They're all just like,
one
oh,
of them
no,
is actually,
come
I
on.
swear to God, one of them's laughing.
Yeah.
One of them's like, this is so stupid. This is great.
Yeah.
Which is, again, why it would be fun to work on a Sedaris movie.
Yeah. But at 4 seconds, they file the medallion enough to fit in there and stop it. And they have to play act that they're removing the very heavy, not quite solid gold Buddha because it's also filled with diamonds.
Yeah, that was a new thing that was introduced last minute.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
I mean, it's a novelty Buddha statue you'd buy at any junk store. It's supposed to be solid gold, but then it's not solid because it's actually filled with diamonds, maybe.
Right? That was confusing, but sure.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Compared to the rest of the end of the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say then the rest of the craziness begins because
because we're like, hey, the movie's over, cool. Because there's another sex scene, just whatever, we don't care, but because it's a fantasy sex scene that it doesn't even happen. But anyway, they get back and we're like, oh, cool. Now they're just gonna go to the hot tub and celebrate, right?
Yeah, except you never actually caught Rodrigo Obregon in all this, so they're at his marina and they surprise his guard. And then they're at his boat, and they're like, where is he? He's in Suite 46 or whatever in the building nearby.
Should have been Suite 69, goddammit. Andy.
Yep.
But then they're loading up a tote bag with the golden Buddha and everything for the rollerblade girl, who's not wearing rollerblades anymore at this point. But they're like, all right, you have 10 minutes. And I guess she's going up there to try to bust him her way or something. I don't know, but like that she's still undercover, maybe.
Yeah. But she gets up there and tries to take his mask off and gasps when she pulls it away, and that's when he's able to knock her out, hide her in the corner, put tape on her mouth, and then sit down while the rest of them come up and go, hey, you're a bad guy. We're going to arrest you. And he goes, why don't you sit down and listen to my story?
Let me tell you the story of my situation.
This is when he fucking Colonel Sanders in The Matrix is this movie and just fucking talks for like 25 straight minutes. He's just like, well, ergo, the situation we now found ourselves in. He just keeps telling this fucking story.
It's a hell of a monologue. I didn't know Andy Sedaris could write this much.
Yeah. Like it's like he wanted to have a scene where somebody monologues, and then he's like, how about if we just make up for all the other movies where we didn't have that happen and just have this guy cover all of it?
Yeah. I mean, intercut with scenes from the first Savage Beach and also bonus scenes that may not have been there, but like, loading up the boat to take it in storms and, here's the guy that we see. And
Meanwhile, one of them has lifted his fingerprint off of the champagne glass and is going.
It's Shay. It's our girl Shay.
Yeah. Shay goes back downstairs to goes back down to the boat and apparently faxes over the thumbprint so that they can analyze
1998
it.
we still faxed a lot of stuff.
I cannot stress enough, this guy talks, it's probably like in real time, like if you go back and rewind it, it's probably like maybe 10 minutes, but it feels like a fucking half hour.
I mean, he talked long enough for her to like lift the print, go downstairs, fax it over a 9600 baud fax machine,
right?
For people to run the prints, come back and then refax it back over to her, print it all out, and then come back upstairs and basically go. It all comes down to like they basically go to remove his mask, and he's totally fine because
he doesn't have the scars from when he got blown up.
Because he's not him. It turns out he's actually his son,
or his nephew. I don't know.
Nephew.
I think
nephew, and.
Character never seen before.
Yeah, and literally Scooby-Doo ending because they Mission Impossible mask off his face, and it's a different guy, and they come up and confirm it with the fingerprint. And I don't know. And then he supposedly killed his uncle.
Yeah, because he's told the whole story of how he was on the island, and they thought you blew me up, but I survived, and then I eventually was able to heal my wounds enough to start up the plane and leave the island and then do a dozen plastic surgeries to fix everything since then, and just on and on and on and on. And then they're like, oh, okay, so that was all bullshit because you're not even that guy. And
or is it?
Yeah, and it's like,
no, it's not. Okay. It's the son. They literally pulled his face off, or the nephew. Whatever.
Well, I mean, the story might not be
Sure.
bullshit.
Maybe not. Maybe yes. Maybe the actual because. All right, so like then there's the story of like, well, I was trying to make amends for all the things I done, and I was going to get the gold back because the Philippine government, people in charge, were basically like corrupt, and they want me to hold on to the gold until I don't know, like until they die, and they can give it to their heirs or something like that, and then it won't
Until
be the
all the
government's.
corrupt politicians die off.
It won't be the people's money; it'll be the politicians' money, and he was going to help with that, but actually he was going to return the money to the people. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and the Interpol agent was bad. She was going to try and steal all of it. And the thing is, like, again, bad filmmaking. As an audience, we already know all that is bullshit. Like, we don't need any of that because we've seen him carefully hide her body and do all this stuff. So it's like, you don't need to tell a 20-minute story that doesn't matter. I mean, it's like, did you watch? I guess you watched Usual Suspects and thought that's what you were going to do. Is like, okay, let's pull that off in the last 10 minutes of our Skinamax movie. I don't know.
Yeah, but
it's frustrating.
I guess they arrest him or whatever. Do they kill him? I don't remember. No, they just arrest him.
No, they just arrest him, and hey, now we're in the same room celebrating
in different clothes,
in champagne outfits.
Yeah, that's an excellent way to describe it. Evening wear.
Yeah, and then who should show up to be their main benefactor?
Could it be Rodrigo Obregon?
I think it is.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
like,
so good at this.
I have a story to tell you.
My nephew did not kill me. Actually, I was wearing a bulletproof vest, and
made of Teflon.
Made of Teflon, which is not what you make bulletproof vests out of. But
also, it wouldn't help. Like, I mean, people say things about bulletproof vests and Teflon, but it's the bullets being coated with Teflon that allows them to go through the bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
If you put Teflon in your bulletproof vest, it would just
have
help
rendered
them.
it worthless.
Well, I'm just saying it would help if anything else. It would just give it less resistance.
It would help the bullet go through you.
Yeah, but I mean, he at least does say that it broke a bunch of his ribs and like exploded his spleen or something.
Yeah, that's
but
the thing.
He lived.
He does have a little scar now. Like, it's not much, but it's like he has somewhat of a scar, but he's not trying to wear the Phantom mask anymore.
Yeah, but of course now, because,
if he ever did.
Yeah,
true.
But he introduces himself to Roller Girl and is just like, I feel like we have known each other in another
I know
life.
we've not met in any way, shape, or form in any conceivable way, but we should totally hook up because you and my nephew did.
Yep, and she's cool with it.
Right.
It's like when your dog dies, just get another dog that looks like that dog, and you replace the dog. How about that? Same dog.
But she wasn't even...
Except it's a guy.
But she wasn't even, like, romantically interested in him at any point.
Nope.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm ready to rate it.
Yep.
This is fucking
Me too.
stupid.
It is, well, I mean, okay, so before we do ratings, it should be noted that after this magnificently convoluted Scooby-Doo ending, we immediately go into the credits, which... kind of the first line points out the convoluted Scooby-Doo ending. It's like, is this really the ending? I mean, a long way to say it. This gets a Stargrove.
I've hidden my face.
This is probably like the most Stargrove song we've actually maybe ever had. I mean,
Well,
even maybe more than Stargrove itself.
No, it's not more Stargrovey than Stargrove.
It's close, though.
We
but
filled in all the lines that he's actually flying through the day. I'm saying, like, this is literally like, he's got a face, but it's covered with a mask, and they need the gold. But it's on a beach. Return to Savage Beach.
And it is the James Bondiest rip-off theme song that you've ever heard in your entire life.
Yeah, it's Shirley Trebly.
Right.
They
Gilda was the lady's first name.
Oh, sorry.
The song.
They're
Respect Gilda.
They're like, has anyone met Shirley Bassey? She's like, she signed a poster of mine one time. All right, Gilda, you're singing her song. Get up there. Belt it out. Belt out Return to Savage Beach.
Gilda. If there are any Gildas in our listening audience, please write in.
There are 0 Gildas. 0.
Look, there's like 3 women. One of them might be a Gilda.
Unless someone
You
was
just set the odds so astronomically far.
okay, actually, you know what? I will take this challenge because unless you were like named after your favorite aunt or something like that, there is nobody probably under the age of 60 or 70 at the minimum that is named Gilda.
Maybe somebody got named after their parents' favorite comedian.
Yeah,
possibly, sure.
Maybe.
Anyway, if your name's Gilda, write into the BMFcast. I want to hear from you.
I do too, and so I can be proven wrong, but I will not be proven wrong.
Or if your name is
you will be lying.
Rosanna.
Or if you've got a cousin named Gilda, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Just have proof.
Yeah, we expect you to send a copy of your ID.
Right. and a photographic ID, and a link to their Facebook account. So the movie's over.
Stargrove.
Worst title card, by the way, of any Sedaris movie.
It's bad.
It's awful, and we get to see it at the end as well.
How far we've fallen from everything being written on the cargo boxes in Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Yeah.
God.
Goddamn shame.
But anyway, it's rating time.
Yeah, please go.
Everybody should do diegetic titles. I don't know if that's the right word, but whatever it is.
I know what you mean. Yes.
Because I think diegetic only means audio.
Yeah, it does. But it just in-world credits.
Yeah.
But I can go.
Okay.
4 jocks. This is really stupid, and I fucking loved it. Even the guy just going on and on and on and on at the end. There's something just like this is. I actually texted Chuck midway through this, and I was like, "Why aren't you here? This is probably the best one we've seen in a very long time." And I don't quite understand why, because like so much of it's terrible, and it's like the nudity doesn't understand how to use nudity in a movie, despite this being like the 8th one he's made. It doesn't make any sense. But how many dudes get blown up?
2 guys get blown up by radio control vehicles. 3 guys get blown up by exploding harpoon
crossbow
projectiles,
bolt
right?
Things. Yeah, it's so dumb and it's so fun, and just so many little things like the nagging bomb counter, like just all of it is. It's the best one we've watched in a very, very long time. It's 4 jocks.
It both leans into. Like, it knows what it is, it leans into it, and it's also honest in some ways. It's honest in its earnest in its ineptitude, right?
Yeah.
And
Ernest goes to ineptitude.
Yeah. Ernest goes to Molokai. I would fucking watch Ernest Goes to Molokai, I swear to God. I would finance Ernest Goes to Molokai. R.I.P. Jim Varney. But
Hey, Vern, you seen these titties?
yeah. Nailed it. It's earnest in its ineptitude. We love that. It's also everything about Sedaris that we like. I'm going to give it 5 jocks. I'm going to bestow upon it a great place of honor.
Wow.
Some of that is because it's our final Sedaris movie. I'm not going to lie. Like half a jocks.
Yeah.
Right? But also some of that is because I don't think this deserves to be a unanimous 5 jocks, so I had to wait until you gave yours.
So you would have dropped it to 4 if I had gone 5?
Correct. It deserves at least 1 5. But it does not deserve all 3. So
well, don't worry, old sourpuss is here. Fucking
oh man, old sourpuss.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I mean,
I can tell how much you didn't like this by the fact that you didn't have the plot on lock. You were not paying enough attention.
Well,
because this movie didn't hold your attention. That's
well,
not
I confuse. I mean,
necessarily your
I
fault.
will definitely admit to confusing that there were 2 attacks by both the Kabuki ninjas and the multicolored belt ninjas, and they were 2 different attacks.
And one of them was completely pointless.
Yeah, and now I'm realizing that I think the Kabuki one was completely pointless.
Yeah, it was. That's the one that was completely pointless. But yes,
that was just to show off, like, that was to show off Buff Bagwell, his fighting prowess, and get Julie Strain a fight scene.
Okay, yeah, that's
and
right. She did kick a guy on the ground a lot.
Yeah, and get Fu a fight scene.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm only going to give it 3. I'm sorry, but like it's okay, I got serious boob blindness in this, and as I've said, I mean, if you want to touch up your factory parts, that's fine, but like, I mean, putting a V12 in a Honda Accord just doesn't work. I'm sorry, it's silly, and it's them wheels too big.tumblr.com. I mean, you've done something just so horrific to yourself that it's just like, that is not, I mean, how is that entertaining for anybody? I don't know. It's just, it's too much. It's the land of excess. Like, come on.
Maybe she likes him, but I feel it's unfair to compare Shay to a Honda Accord. She's a much nicer car that is still also very small.
How about an MG or a Porsche 911? Like, you wouldn't put a V12 in a Porsche 911.
Well,
I mean, it would be
I would.
very back
But
heavy.
I
Right.
I get where you're going with the
Yeah.
analogy.
I understand the sentiment.
But yeah, I mean, it made me kind of like long for like the slightly less enhanced days, you know? Like, I mean, just look at like,
I mean, we're back in those days. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, look at Donna to like the people now. I mean, Donna was a model that had been around and like, you know, had done her thing and was like into the realm of Sedaris now, and it's like all these people are like, no matter how old they are, you can barely tell. Like the Ava lady, I almost thought that was Cassandra Peterson for a second because I mean she kind of looks like her.
yeah.
And I was like, why wasn't her name in the credits? But it's not. But yeah, it was like even people that are like, you know, a little bit older, just like they're so stretched. They're like, you know, they're very what's her face in Brazil? Mona from Who's the Boss? I can't remember her real name. But yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, Catherine something. Hellman.
Sure.
I'll get there eventually.
Yep.
But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it is still fun. Like I'm glad compared to especially like the running around Shreveport on horseback bullshit one and stuff like that. I mean, there is so much more fun. I wish they'd had a little bit more point to some of the vehicles. Like I mean, the submarine was really kind of pointless. I mean, it was like it's cool that you got one, but like
Yeah.
it just sort of arrives and it's like there's nothing like dramatic about it other than that is how they got from the island. It's just we had a submarine. We should probably put our bad guys in that because that's cool, right? And nobody does any particularly cool things on the Sea-Doos or anything, you know. Like it's just like they're just functional mostly, which is probably byproduct of it being a low budget movie and these things all being borrowed or whatever. So you can't really wreck them.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's still fun. It's still a lot more fun than some of the last ones have been. But
And I think the secret is it has less Julie Strain than those did.
it should be pointed out
Possibly,
her one line where she gives the biggest like fart face finale to a joke
yeah.
where when they get to the island and they're still wearing their catamaran bikinis and banana hammocks and stuff, and so like they just come out with a bag and start getting geared up, and she dons some kind of crazy all leather outfit, and John Cena Jr. basically is like, man, you smell like a new car or something like that. And she's like, too bad you'll never get a ride. And then just gives this like face. It's just like, oh my God, lady, like, sell it harder.
That's all Julie Strain knows how to do.
I know. It's just
She should be called Julie No Restraint.
That was a particularly like good one though. It's just like, wow. Like, don't call me babe kind of delivery, you know, like
Unhinged.
Yeah.
I like it. I like Julie Strain.
But yes, this is one of the fun ones.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Heavy recommend. It's been a long journey, fellas.
Yeah, it's a good way to go out on these, though.
Yeah. Happy to go out on something that's like that doesn't stink.
Yes.
I don't have a good segue.
So, if people want to tell us their favorite Sedaris movie that's not Hard Ticket to Hawaii, how would they do that, BJ?
I don't have a clever response. Sorry, I thought
you don't need a response. You can just answer the question.
I know. I was trying though.
Oh, okay.
Well, they could email us at bmf@bmfcast.com. That's one way.
They
Would
should
you
do that.
Would you like another?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to know more.
Okay. Well, there is yet another way you can contact the BMFcast.
They can attach it to an explosive crossbow bolt and shoot it at the door,
Yes.
No.
but then not explode the crossbow bolt.
Well, that's between them and Harlow.
Oh, okay.
You're going to have to get a P.O. box.
But there is another way.
Oh,
Would you like to know it?
I would like to know more.
Okay. They can call us and leave a voicemail on the BAMFcast hotline. There's a telephone number attached to that.
I was going to ask, how would one do this?
With the telephone.
Oh.
You can dial 910-5-JOCKS-BMF or 910-5... I almost said 910-5-JOCKS-BMF again.
Well, they could still do that. Right.
Or 910-556-9263. Two options for dialing.
I mean,
I
they're
love
the
it.
same. It's just, it's alphanumeric
Sure.
keypad thing.
Well, you had to ruin it.
Oh. I mean, yes, we have two numbers. We're
So
Just save it in
rich.
your phone.
we're fucking fancy.
Just save it in your phone when you're drunk or when you've eating too many Fiber One bars, and you're just
Yeah.
hitting the trains and derailing them from how much shit you just had to drop.
Right. Or if
You can call us.
Right. Or if you have an anecdote about some Hollywood person.
Oh yeah, those are good. I always enjoy those.
Yeah.
Try
Anyway.
it on the positive side. We're not here to
Yeah.
like, trash people. Like,
Right. Shit on the rails.
especially if
don't
we
shit on
can't back
people.
up the story. We're not going to help libel people.
Right.
Yeah, they say 2 sources, but
Slander. I don't
all
know.
we need is you.
We didn't write it down.
Anyway. The other thing you can do if you just want to like hang out with us, you can go to the website and find our Discord link. Or you can go check on Twitter. Just like do @BMFcast, search for @BMFcast Discord. And hang out with us. Like we talk to you. Harlow doesn't. He's busy. Chuck is in there all the time. Mackey's
Yeah.
in there all the time.
Yeah,
I am
if
in
you
there.
need your Chuck fix because you're not getting it here anymore.
Right. I'm in there sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm busy right now with new job and stuff. But
Yeah, and
trying.
check out Chuck's series. He's going around Florida checking out pinball machines.
yes, his new YouTube channel, The Oldest Gamer.
Yep,
It's pretty good. It's actually.
you'll see his smiling face.
I don't think he's
in the
smiling yet.
thumbnails.
In the thumbnails. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good series.
Yep.
It's a good series so far. I'm really enjoying it.
And lastly,
Uh-huh.
if they want to support us monetarily,
Oh, that's a
they're
good
they're
one.
like, hey, I like what these guys do. Here's a few bucks.
Patreon.com/BMFcast.
Yep.
Yeah. Drop us a little dinero, and we'll be able to keep the lights on and keep the servers up and
Yeah.
keep replacing these shitty Chromebooks. that
Pay
we
those hosting fees.
Pay those hosting fees. Pay Mackie for the domain that he's been paying for like 11 years that we haven't switched over to us.
Oh, yeah. It just redirects, but yeah.
Right.
I think he just means the billing.
Yeah,
right,
Direct
yeah,
bills
yeah,
us.
billing.
Because I believe I registered at some point. I registered Bad Movie Friends because
Yes.
we got shout outs on different shows, and they said Bad Movie Friends, go check them out. And I'm like, fuck! Now I got to register Bad Movie Friends.
If you found us through badmoviefriends.com, send us an email. I'd like to hear from you.
Just send it to bmf@bmfcast.com
Yes,
because badmoviefriends.com does not yield any emails whatsoever.
correct. We can't afford, not yet. That's our Patreon stretch goal, is being able to afford email for that domain.
No, we're not.
Why?
no,
Why?
that is a poor use of Patreon funds.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that.
I am.
We're just going to capture all the domains and be able to have email anywhere. That's our new goal.
Yeah. Well, that's a really long
Yeah,
stretch
you
goal.
could just put open up your email program and put X, and it'll just come to us.
Just put anything. As long as you mean for it to come to us, it'll come to us. That's what we really want to do.
If you wish hard enough, we'll get it.
We're actually just hacking all the SMTP servers on the world so that it all redirects to us.
Yep.
So
Anyway.
let's get out of your show, shall we?
Okay.
Let's.
I am Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and this is BMFcast Out. R.I.P. Andy Sedaris and Julie Strain. And
I don't want to
Others.
see if anyone else is dead.
So
I think there's a couple others.
now that we are at the end, I think I would have to bust out our original DVD set over there, the Girls, Guns, and G-Strings.
Yeah.
The original montage that would play over the menu when you were selecting what movie and all that stuff. There is one scene from that montage that now that we've seen them all, I don't remember. I feel like
Uh-oh.
I feel like I've been waiting for it for all of these movies and it still hasn't happened.
I guarantee it's in like Guns or something. You
Okay.
know, and you just don't.
And I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even remember the girl from it in any of the movies. That's what I'm saying. I've been waiting for
Huh.
her to show up.
I don't.
I
don't
just
know.
like of all the
I'm
crazy
trying to
action.
remember because I remember that menu, but
Yeah,
I just don't.
there's I think she's firing one of the explosive crossbows or or something like that. It's not a standard gun. I want to say she had like kind of curlyish red hair, maybe reddish hair, but it was something about what she did. She just made like the best like sexy duck lip face after shooting the gun. And it was like this thing, and I was just like, "Oh, what movie is that from? That's awesome!" Because she just looked like she fucking enjoyed it, and so I was like, well, I still don't remember what movie this is from. I mean, I could pull the DVD out and be like, "That's her," but I don't remember what movie. But yeah,
Yeah,
like I
me
said,
neither.
now that we're at the end, I'm like, still haven't seen it. Been waiting.
I guess I need to watch Malibu Express at some point because you guys watched that on Extra, right?
I just saw it on my own. I watched it.
I could've sworn
right
you
after
guys
we
did it on
Our Ticket to
Extras.
Hawaii. I don't think we ever covered.
Have you watched it?
We've got the Blu-ray
Yes.
right here
'Cause
somewhere.
that's the
I
one
think.
that feels like like it's weird because the main character is a dude, as opposed to being a lady like it is in basically all the rest of them.
That's where the whole Abilene thing starts.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think I've seen it.
it's almost like a real movie. It's at least trying to feel like a real movie more so than.
Yeah.
It looks way older than it is, though. Man, I don't know what film they shot it on. I swear it looks like a 70s movie.
Yeah.
Like an early 70s movie.
Oh wait, there's something about it on Twitter.
Something about what? Malibu Express?
Yes.
Oh, there's going to be plenty about it.
No, I mean an interaction between BMFcast adjacents.
Oh.
Yeah.
2020. It hasn't been that long. A year and a half.
Chuck, was Malibu Express 1985 skipped? We started with Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Okay.
So Malibu Express is before Hard Ticket to Hawaii?
Yes.
Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
Hard Ticket to Hawaii
85.
is the second one.
Okay.
And there's actually one called Stacy that was earlier than that, but it was distributed by New World. So it's a different distribution company, so it never ends up on any of those sets.
Gotcha.
Maybe that's the one where that lady's from. Probably not if they used that in the menu.
Yeah.
I always forget that Andy Sedaris had a huge career before all of these.
Yeah, but didn't he basically invent how they film Monday Night Football, kind of?
Pretty much,
Like the
yeah.
production of it, which is like the template for all modern sports
Right.
at this point.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. And like cutting to the cheerleaders on the sidelines. Like that was him. Like, God, he's probably the reason Hooters exists.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. So he probably, I mean, he obviously had to have money before all of that, but I want to know what Andy Sedaris' house. I've never dived into Andy Sedaris' life because I've been afraid, but now that we're done. House. Andy Sedaris house. Virtual globetrotting. This house is in Beverly Hills, so it must have been a nice place.
That's where I want to be.
Gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow.
I don't think I ever talked on here about how bad Babylon was, did I? To you guys?
Briefly.
Oh.
What
my
is
God.
Babylon?
It's a movie that cost a shitload of money and lost a shitload of money. It's a big blockbuster failure from last year. It's Damien Chazelle, I think is how you say his last name. The guy that did
Yeah.
Whiplash and La La Land before that. But I liked Whiplash a lot at the time. I did not care for La La Land, really. I didn't understand any of the hype around La La Land at all, ever.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't.
But
Hollywood darlings singing and dancing. That's
I guess
that's gotta be it.
I guess. I mean, everyone just made it seem like it was more than that. Like there's something deeper about it, or I don't know. But yeah, Babylon is such a fucking train wreck of a movie.
I never heard anybody praising La La Land that wasn't like basically saying that like Hollywood darlings singing and dancing.
Sure, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like people.
I don't know how-
I feel like people looked at it more than just your typical musical. I don't know, but because I mean, I should be the target audience for that, but no thanks. The movie's just.
But you're not.
I mean, none of the songs are particularly good. I mean, the opening scene in the traffic and stuff is like big and crazy and a spectacle, but it's like, I mean, like all of Babylon is just nonstop spectacle. That's what's so funny about it.
I'm looking at what you're doing.
Oh, I sent you
Looking
this.
at I know. I'm just looking
Yeah.
at your crazy person spreadsheet.
Yeah. There's a lot of games on it. This is what I do when I'm like
Bored at work?
not
at
bored,
work
but
and
don't
I
want to
wanna
work
get
on the things
ill.
that I'm supposed to be working on. So it still looks like I'm in my spreadsheets fixing things when actually
Smart.
I'm just like scroll a little bit to the right. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I added links to all the rule books because I was like,
Nice.
because I know because every time we play with Tobias, I see he's got the rule book on his phone. Every single time, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save Tobias the trouble, and I will just post a link directly to the PDF of the
Yeah.
of the
He
rule
just
book.
like me, he likes really understanding what's going on in the game.
Yeah,
And doesn't want to have to like grab the rule book from somebody when he has a
yeah. I'm
question
totally the
about
same
rules.
way. I tend to, and I'll search for like, okay, what does this mean? So, and a lot of times, the best part is like usually you can just put in Google. You know, you're like, all right, on a turn of this, if this happens, what do you do? And it's like somebody in the Board Game Geek forums has answered that exact question.
Or the creator of the game has answered that question on the Board Game Geek forum.
Yeah. Shit, I gotta get going.
All right.
Yeah, it's 10:30. We stayed late.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
It's pretty good for, oh, Jesus.
Well, we were like getting out at like 8.
Yeah.